What a Sunday night football game. What an absolutely exhilarating weekend of sports. We've got a lot to get to. Appreciate all of you hanging out with us here on this fine Monday in the Geico Outkick studios. Want to tell you, do you know right now, Geico's offering an extra 15% credit on car, motorcycle, and RV policies. That's 15% on top of what Geico could already save you. So what are you waiting for? Save an extra 15% when you switch by October 7th. Visit geico.com to learn more. And Blue Emu Maximum Pain Relief works fast. You won't stink. It's pharmacist-recommended odor-free pain relief for muscle pain, backache, strain, sprains, or even arthritis. There's no stinging or burning involved. It's simple pain relief. Blue Emu Maximum Pain Relief works fast and you won't stink. Cam Newton and Russell Wilson were about as good going back and forth on Sunday night in that game in Seattle as you could possibly hope for. Now, the Seahawks got the win, and Russell Wilson felt like he was indeed Mr. Unlimited, which I think is the nickname, if I'm not mistaken, that he gave himself. But the fact that this game came down to the very, very final play, and I felt like you had to run Cam. I felt like that was what everybody anticipated there because nobody had been able to stop him all game. And the Seahawks finally got a stop. But to me, the big takeaway here as we think about both of these teams is, first of all, both of these teams are really good. And I was one of the people that was thinking, hey, the New England Patriots are going to fall off substantially once Tom Brady's not there. There's not a lot of great talent on that team. I don't know that I've ever seen Cam standing as confidently in the pocket, surveying the field, and being able to deliver accurately all night long. And they talked some during the course of the broadcast, Chris Collinsworth did in particular, about how the Patriots have been working with him to kind of keep his shoulders square so he didn't end up, pushing the ball where he didn't want it to go. But, he threw the ball 44 times. He had almost 400 yards passing, and he also ran the ball for 2 more touchdowns. This is, to me, the Cam Newton of the MVP season when the Carolina Panthers went 17-1 and rolled into the Super Bowl as favorites. That's how good he looks right now. Now, if you want to take the bearish side of this argument, I think you could suggest that Cam has taken a lot of hits and that as a result, he may not be able to run the ball like this as we get into November and December. And that the body toll and wear and tear on him, because he's a big physical guy who's taken hits. Look at the hit that he took on the final play of the game. He got somersaulted. And a lot of those hits will add up. And he's going to have to be more and more, I think, of a passer as the season progresses. But he looks flat out incredible. And Russell Wilson, I believe, is right now the best quarterback in the NFL. Through 2 weeks of the season, if you were voting on an MVP, Cam would be close. Kyler Murray would be close. But Russell Wilson is your MVP. And I anticipate that when the new MVP odds come out, he will be a substantial favorite in that universe right now. But what a game. It literally came down to the final play of the game. Everybody, I think, out there anticipated that Cam was going to run. And when he did run, the Seahawks basically sold out for it. So I think the one thing you could say is, if you were going back, was the play there, and in retrospect, hindsight is always 20/20 when you see a play doesn't work, is Cam Newton sort of faking the run to himself and then doing a Tim Tebow-style jump pass that you see every now and then, the way to cement a win on that play? Maybe. But you really haven't been able to stop Cam running all night. And if that pass is covered, is there an opportunity to make a play there? Probably not. And so I would think that's probably why that play got considered and rejected. And the expectation was Cam was just going to be able to get in. And the Seahawks, to their credit, got a huge stop. But to me, the big takeaway here is the Patriots are not dead. this is a still really, really talented football team. And that's even with their defense not being able to do anything. Now, I'm a little bit concerned about Julian Edelman's overall health. He was unstoppable last night. And so as you break it down, maybe you're concerned about his health. Maybe you're concerned about Cam Newton overall being able to maintain this same ability to run. But my goodness, what a game. I mean, just flat out extraordinary. A great bow on a Sunday with tremendous activity. Now, the downside, you saw Bruce Irvin go out. Guy who's 8.5 sacks, I think they said last season. This is the Achilles heel of the Seattle Seahawks. Cam made a lot of plays passing. They couldn't get any pressure on him. By and large, he had a lot of time, especially in the second half, to be able to stand back there and survey the field. And so that's something I think you have to be nervous about if you're a Seahawks fan. As good as Russell Wilson is playing, he's going to have to play an extraordinary style of ball in order to be able to win. And by the way, Pete Carroll's play calling, I understand that Russell Wilson has been throwing dimes all day, but you need to really take the deep shot there on 3rd and 1, where if you get a first down, the game's basically over. That gave the Patriots a chance to come back down the other direction and effectively put themselves in position to win. But that's nitpicking a little bit. The Seahawks get the win. Extraordinary game. Cam couldn't have been much better. The one interception, he kind of saw him saying to himself, yeah, that was just an error. Made a good play, but he threw a little bit late on an outside route there. Otherwise, I really don't know how much better these guys could have played. I mean, it was a scintillating game. And by the way, Lakers also got a win. Came down to the last shot. Anthony Davis drained a 3. I watched probably 5 minutes of that game because I was watching the NFL the whole time. And I understand some people are going to spend a lot of time on the NBA. We're not going to be that show. So we'll talk about that some in the third hour of the program as the West Coast wakes up, because I know there are Laker fans out there. But if you're new to Outkick, we are a football show. So we will be talking on Mondays, NFL and college football, boom, as much as we possibly can. And so I understand, again, there are some places out there that are going to spend a ton of time on the NBA. My audience was watching football last night. And my audience was watching football all weekend. May touch a little bit on the U.S. Open, but football is going to be our focus. If you want a football-focused show and you're new to us, that's us. If you want somebody to tell you who's better, LeBron James or Michael Jordan, after every NBA game that gets played, that ain't us. But by the way, Russell Wilson, best quarterback in the NFL right now? I think you'd have to say so. And Cam Newton, if he scores on that play, I might be saying, you know what, Cam Newton may be the NFL MVP frontrunner if he scores there, because he's been almost unstoppable. Lots to unpack as we continue to roll through the show. Trust me, there's so many incredible storylines coming out of the NFL yesterday. I'm going to talk about the Cowboys-Falcons. How about that onside kick? I'm going to talk about the Chargers' decision to punt on 4th and 1. And how about Anthony Lynn saying Tyrod Taylor is the starter? Did you see how Justin Herbert played? It's nonsensical to me. Also, the 2-0 teams and the 0-2 teams. We got a loaded show for you, giving you a rundown. In hour 2, we're going to talk with Joel Klatt about college football. And then in hour 3, we'll bring in my buddy Todd Furman from Lock It In /Fox Bet Live, and we will discuss what went on from a gambling perspective in all of the games that took place over the weekend. But I am excited to hang with you guys. I'm excited to spend the rest of this 3 hours with you, breaking down mostly the NFL and everything that took place over the weekend. When we come back, more on the craziness in the Cowboy-Falcons game, as well as what in the world happened with Chiefs-Chargers. All that still to come. This is Outkick on Fox Sports Radio.